victory is twice itself when the achiever brings back full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro has bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
What's deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He has thorned himself beyond the promise of the age, including the figure of a lamb, the feats of a lion. He has better expectations than I expect of you.
You have an uncle here in Messina will be very much glad of it.
I have already delivered the letters, and there appears much joy. So much that joy cannot show itself honest enough without a bad description.
Did he break into tears?
In great measure.
Kind overflow of kindness. There are no faces truer than those that are so washed. How much better it is to weep at joy than to joy at weeping.
I pray you, is Signor Montano returned from the war or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There's no such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
Why does it mean Signor Benedick of time?
Oh, he is returning as pleasant as ever he was.
He set up his bills here a while in Messina, and challenged Cupid as a crossbow. And my aunt's fool, in reading the challenge, did meet him at the bird bowl. But I tell you, how many have he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many have he killed? For I did promise to eat all of his killings.
Please, ask Signor Benedick too much. But he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He had musty victual, and he had hoped to eat it. He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach. Truly. Good service to a lady, but what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, also the honorable.
Indeed, he is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, lady, mistake my niece. There is a merry war betwixt Signor Benedick and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. Why, in our last meeting, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed but with 1. He may wish to keep it between himself and his horse for a while, but because it is all the wealth he has left to be known a reasonable man. But I pray you, who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Why, very easily possible indeed. He wears his faith as but the fashion of the hat, a new one with every block.
I see, lady, the gentleman is not in your love.
Why, no, and if he were, I would burn my study. But tell me, who is his companion? Is there no young square who will go off with him to make a voyage to the devil?
He is in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught in the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the right noble Claudio. He has caught the Benedick, and it will cost him £1,000 ere he be cured again.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Good Signor Leonardo, you are come to meet your troubles. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and yet you encounter it.
Never came trouble upon my house while in the presence of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes its leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
Her father hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, lady, that you had asked her?
Signor Benedick, no, for then you were a child.
You have it full, Benedict. By this we may truly tell what you are, being a man. For truly the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signora Leonardo be her mother, she would not have her hat on her shoulders. Like her as she is.
I wonder that you would still be talking, Signor. No one marks you.
What? My dear lady, disdain! Are you yet living?
Is it possible disdain could die when she has such musty victual as yourself? Why, even courtesy must be converted when she comes in your presence.
Then courtesy is a turncoat. But it is certain, I am loved of all ladies, only you except. Now would I confide in my heart that I am not a hard heart, for truly, I love none.
Oh, a dear happiness to all ladies, or else they would be troubled with pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood that I am of your heart for that. I'd rather hear a dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind. Some gentleman or other shall escape if you press a predestinate scratch face.
Oh, but scratch scratching could not make it worse, were it such a face as yours.
Well, you are a rare parent teacher.
Better a bird at my tongue than a beast of yours.
I would have my horse have the speed of your tongue, and so it could continue. But keep your way, in God's name I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonardo. Signor Claudio and Signor Benedick, my dear friend Leonardo, hath invited you all. I tell her we shall stay here at least a month, but she prays some occasion may detain us longer.
If you shall swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lady, being reconciled to the prince your brother. I owe you all too.
I thank you. I'm not of many words, but I thank you.
Please eat your grace lead on.
Your hand, Leonardo, and we will go together.
Benedick, it's that of the daughter of Signor Leonardo.
I noted her not. I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me, as not as man should do, for my simple and true judgment? Or would you rather me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant of their sex?
No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Why, methinks she's too little for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too low for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her. Were she any other than she is, she were unhandsome, and being no other than she is, I don't like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her, that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, in the case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow, or do you play the flouting jack? You're to tell us that Cupid is a rare hair finder, and Vulcan a great carpenter? Come, what key shall a man take you in this song?
In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see without spectacles, and I see no such man. There's her cousin, and were she not possessed with such a fury, exceeds her much as beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But tell me, you have no intention to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn to the contrary if here would be my wife.
It's come to this in faith. Hath the world not one man that will wear his cap of suspicion? Will I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Go in faith, doubtfully thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the principate, and sigh away Sundays. Look, here comes Don Pedro to speak to you.
What secret hath held you here that you return not to Leonardo's?
I would. Your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
Claudio, I can be secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so. But on my allegiance, mark you this on my allegiance, he's in love. Now with who? That's a Grace's part. Mark how short his answers are with Hero. Leonardo's short daughter.
If this was so rugged.
It's like you'll tell, my lord. It's not so, nor was it not so, but God forbid it should be so.
And God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thoughts.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my two faiths and troths, I've spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither know how she should be loved, nor how she should deserve it. That is the opinion that fire cannot melt down of me. I would die in it at that stage.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in despite his beauty.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she likewise gave me, that she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I will have every cheek winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle up at an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. Because I will not do them wrong to mistrust any, I will do myself right, to trust none. Fine is, for which I may go to find her, I will live a bastard.
I shall see thee ere I die, with pale with love.
With anger, sickness, or with pain, my lord, not with love. Prove that I lose any more blood with love than I do again drinking, pluck out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me up at the brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, if thou dost should ever fall from this faith, that would prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me up in the bottle like a cat, and shoot at me. And he that hits me, let me be clapped on the shoulder and called Adam.
Well, as time shall try, in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedick wear it, pluck out out the bull's horns and set them in my forehead. And let me be so vilely painted in such great letters as they write, here is a good horse for hire. And let them signify it in my sign. Here you may see Benedick, the merry man.
If this should ever happen, thou wouldst be a whore mad.
Nay, thou wilt quake for this shortly if Cupid had not spent all his quiver in Venice.
I'll look for an earthquake too then.
Well, you'll temporize with the hours. In the meantime, prepare to lay not. Commend me to her, for indeed she has made great preparations. I shall not fail her at supper.
I always have enough matter in me for such an episode. And so, I commit you.
Tuition of God for my house if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedick.
Nay, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometimes guarded with fragments, and those gods but basted on neither. Ere you flout any old ends, examine your conscience, and so I leave you.
What is your highness? Now may turn you good.
My love is designed to teach, and teach but how, and soon thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath we not have any son, my lord?
No child but hero, she's her only heir. Dost thou affect your Claudio?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye that light. I had a rougher task in hand than to drive like into the name of love. But now I'm returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant in their rooms, confronting soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young hero is, and saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou wilt be like a lover presently, entirely superior with the book of course. Look, what will serve as fit? If thou dost love fair hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and her mother, and thou shalt have her. Was it not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a sword?
How sweetly you do minister to love, that no love screened by its complexion. For lest my liking might too suddenly seem, I would have salved it with a
For the longer treatise, the fairest grant is a necessity. Look, what will serve is fit. 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with your own. Look, I know we shall have much reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise and tell fair hero that I am Claudio, and in her bosom unclasp my heart and take her hearing prisoner with a strong encounter and force of my amorous tale, and then to her mother will I break, and the conclusion is she shall be thine. In practice, let's put it presently.
patient sufferance. I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art, born under Saturn, goes about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause and smile at no man's jest. Laugh when I am merry and clown a man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this, so you may do so without controlment. You have a place set out against your brother, and he hath taken you newly into his grave. But it is impossible that you should take true, but by the fair weather that you make yourself. And it is needful that you frame season for your own harvest.
I'd rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. And it better suits my blood to be a stain to ball than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. And this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man, it must not be denied that I'm a plain-dealing business villain. I'm entrusted with the muzzle and enfranchised with the clog. If I am a mouth, I would bite. If I'm at liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Who comes here? What news, Baraccio?
I come yonder from a great supper. The Prince your brother is royally entertained over the night. And I can give you great intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unkindness?
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
The most exquisite Claudio.
Even he.
A proper squire. And two. Which way looks he?
Mary, I'm Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonata.
A very forward march chick. How came you to this?
Being entertained as the perfumer, as I was musting a smoky brew.
Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross in any way, I shall bless myself every way. Your bold sure will assist me? To the death, my lady. Let us to the great supper. Their cheers the greater than I am subdued. More than the cook were of my mind. Shall we go see what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your ladyship.
Was not Countess Giovanna here at supper?
I saw her.
How tartly that lady looks. I can never see her, but I'm heartburned for an hour after. She's a very melancholy disposition.
Thou hast Signor Benedick's tongue in Countess Giovanna's mouth, and hast Signor Benedick's melancholy in Countess Giovanna's face.
Well, truly, the one is too much like an image, never talking, and the other is too much like my lady's elderly son, evermore paddling. So such a person, made in the middle of Signor Benedick and Countess Giovanna, why with good leg and good quit aunt, such a man could get any lady in Messina. If we could get her to Phil.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thou be too shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed? Well, they say that to a cow, too cursed. To a cursed cow, God sends short horns, but that to a cow too cursed, God sends none.
So, by being too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just if you send me no husband, for which I am at my knees night and day. Lord, I could not abide a husband with a beard on his face. I'd rather lie in the woolen.
You may like on a husband who hath no beard.
And what should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? No, he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that hath one is more than a youth. And he that is less than a man is not for me. And he that is more than a youth, I am not for him. Therefore, I will gather up my 8 and 6pence and lead them to the gates of hell.
Well then, go you into hell.
No, but to the gates, and there shall the devil meet me, like an old couple with horns upon his head, and say, "Get thee to heaven, Beatrice, get thee to heaven. There's no place for maids like you." And then I shall away to heaven, and there will St. Peter meet me, and he'll show me where the bachelors stay, and there we will live as merry as the day is long.
Well, my niece, I trust you will be ruled by your father.
Yes, it is my cousin's duty to make a curtsy and say, "Mother," as please you? And yet for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, Mother, as it please me, well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband. No, not till God makes men of some metal other than earth. How it must pain a woman to give account of her life to a piece of wayward marl, to tell a clod of wayward dirt what she is doing. No, I hold Adam's sons as my kindred, and I hold it a sin to marry my brethren. Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in this kind, you know your answer. And yet, niece, yet, cousin, remember, if the prince be too important, or if you not be wooed in time, tell him there's measure in everything, and so dance out the answer. For remember, wedding, wooing, and repentance is as a Scotch jig, a measure, and a sixpence. First comes wooing, hot and hasty, full and fantastical, as a Scotch jig. And then comes wedding, as moderate as a measure, full of sweet names of drink. And then comes repentance, on his bad legs, faster, and faster, and faster, until we all fall down. Niece, you apprehend passing shrewdly. I have a good eye on. I can see a church by daylight. The revelers are entering. Make good room.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you look softly and sweetly, but say nothing. And yours to love, especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so when I flee.
And when please you to say so?
I like your face. For God's sake, you like your face.
My visor is filmed with roof and within the house is Joe.
Why then your visor should be sad?
Speak low, speak low.
Well, I would you did like me.
Nay, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. The tears may cry.
Ooh, and God match you with a good damson.
Amen.
And may him lead me with the camp done. Answer, clerk.
4 more words. The clerk is answered.
I know you well enough. You are Senor Antonia.
And a word, I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
Tell you true, I come from
You could never do him so well, and unless you were the very man, kiss his dry hand up and down. You are he, you are he.
And a word, I am not.
Come. Do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? In virtue hide itself? Go to, Mom, you are he. Grace will appear, and there to end.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
Not now.
Nor will you tell me who you are?
No.
It was Senor Benedick who told you this, that I was scornful and disdainful, that I might wit out of 1,000 merry wives' tales.
What's he?
Surely you know him.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
He is the prince's jester, a very dull fool. His only gift is in devising impossible slander. Only liberties delight in him. People pleases men and angers him. And they laugh at him, and then they beat him. I would that he would in the fleet. I would that he would have boarded me.
When I meet the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He'll put frank a comparison or two on me, I believe, which, not laughed upon or remarked upon, will send the duke to melancholy. And then there's a partridge of sand, for he shall eat no supper that night. Come, we must follow the leaders.
Every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill will, I'll leave them at the next turning.
Sure, my brother is enamored on Hero, and hath broken her mother to speak with her about it. The ladies follow, but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are you not Senor Benedick?
You know me well, I am he.
Senor, you are very dear to my brother in his love. He is enamored with Hero. I pray you dissuade her from him. She is not his equal in birth. He may do the part of an honest bandit.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear it.
So did I too. He swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the ballroom.
Thus answer I, the name of Benedick. But hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so the prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things save in office and affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love use their own tongues. Every eye negotiate for itself. And trust no agent, for beauty is a witch, against whose charms may melt it into blood. This is an accident of our own proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, hero.
Oh, Claudio? Is that you?
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me? Even to the next willow about your business, come. What fashion? Shall you wear the garland up, around your neck like Ursa's chain, or under your arm like the lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Why, that's spoken like a true drover, and so they sell books.
I pray you leave me.
Oh, you strike like the blind man. Was the boy who stole your meat, and you beat the post?
If this will not be, I will leave you.
Alas, poor heart's foul. Now will we creep into sieges. It's that my Beatrice should know me and not know me. The prince is fool? I may go under that title because I'm so merry. Yea, but I'm not so apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. Oh well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Why, how now, senor? What's it come? Did you see him?
Troth, Lord, I played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here, as melancholy as a lodge in a warren, and I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to be fashioned to guard it as being forsaken, or to be bound up a rod, worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy who, with being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it to his companion, and he steals it.
Without make a trust transgression? The transgression is in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss that the rod had been made, and the garland too, for the garland he may have worn himself, and the rod he may have bestowed upon you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing, and then restore them to the owner.
If they sing by your saying, by my faith, you say truthfully.
Lady Beatrice told me she's much wronged by the man she danced with. Said she's much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. In oak, but with one green leaf would have answered her thus. She speaks ponderous, every word stands. If her breath was as terrible as her terminations, there would be no living near. She would infect the North Star. Come, speak not of her. We shall meet her in the infernal age in good apparel. I hope to God some scholar will conjure her, for while she is here, man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary. People stay on purpose because they would go thither.
Look, here she comes.
My lord, have you no appointment to me to the world's end? I will go now the farthest antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will get you a toothpicker from the farthest of Asia, the length of Prester John's foot, a hair from the great champ's beard, any embassage to the pygmies rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. Have you no employment for me?
None but to desire your good company.
Oh, this is a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, Lady Beatrice, you've lost the heart of Signor Benedick.
Indeed, he lent it to me a while, and I gave him use of it, a double heart for a single one. But then he wanted of me a false dice. So you may well indeed say I lost it.
You have put him down, lady, you have put him down.
I would that he should do me, lest I prove the mother of fools. But come, here is Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Come, Count. Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
Come, sick.
Neither, my lord.
He is neither happy nor sad, nor well nor sick, but civil, Count, civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, lady, I think your relation to be true, though if all is sworn, his conceit is false. Look, Claudio, I've wooed in thy name Their hero is one. Name the day of marriage, mother, and God give thee joy.
Count, take with me my daughter, and with her my good fortune. His grace hath made its match, and may all grace say amen to it. Speak, Count. It is your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much, lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give myself to you and dote upon the exchange.
And now, cousin, it is your turn to speak. Or if you can't stop his mouth with a kiss, and let neither of you speak either. She tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Indeed I do, and I thank it, poor fool. It keeps me on the windy side of the Oh, good Lord, for alliance! And there goes off everyone into the world but I, and I am sunburnt. I shall sit in a corner and cry hi-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
Truly? I think I'd rather have one of your father's gettings. Has your grace never any brothers like you? Your father could get maids excellent husbands if she was lucky enough.
Lady Beatrice, will you have me?
Oh, no, your grace. Not unless I may have another husband for everyday wear. Your grace is too costly to wear when working. But I pray you, pay me no pardon. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, for to be merry best becomes you. On the question, you were born in a merry hour.
Oh, no! My mother cried. But then there was a star dance, and under that I was born. Cousins, God give you joy. Niece, will you look to those things I told you of? I pray you mercy, aunt. Begging your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her. She's never sad but when she sleeps. Not ever sad then, for my daughter hath said she hath often dreamed of unhappiness and woken herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedick.
Oh, Lord, my Lord. Are they but a week married? They talk themselves mad.
Count Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes like crutches till love have all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son. Hence just a seven-night. I'm too brave, too, for all things answered in my mind.
Come, you shake the head as so long and breathing. But I warn thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. In the interim, I will undertake one of Hercules' labors, as to bring the Signor Benedick and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, one with the other. I would fain have it match, but fashion but how? And I shall give thee directions as you shall give assistance.
My lord, I am for you, though it will cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the unhopeless husband I have seen. As I am an honest man, I can assure you, he is of approved valor, firm honesty, and of a noble strain. We can do this. Cupid is no longer a love god. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Come in with me, and I will tell you my trade.
Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman of Hero?
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out of her chamber window.
What life is there in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison in that is up to you, Miss Emperor. Go to the prince your brother, spare not to tell him how he hath wronged his brother's honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation you so mightily hold up, to a contaminated stale such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of this?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and to kill the Amata. Look you for any other issue?
Only that to despite them, I will endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meet hour to throw the prince and Count Claudio alone. Tell them you know that Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal to both the prince and Claudio, as in love as your brother's honor, who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus like to be cozened with the semblance of a maid, that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances that shall bear no less likelihood than to see me out of her chamber window. For in the meantime, I would so fashion a matter that Hero be absent. And there shall bear such seeming truth in Hero's disloyalty, that jealousy shall be called assurance in all the preparation of her pearl.
Prove this to what at first issue it may be. I will put it in practice. Be cunning in the working of this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you cunning in that accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn their day of marriage.
Do much wonder, seeing that one man after. Do much wonder, seeing how one man is fool. I do much wonder that one man, seeing how another man is fool when he dedicates his behavior to love, should, after he hath laughed at such shell follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. That man is Claudio. I have known there was no music in him but the drum and fife. And now all his brother hears the tablet, the pipe. I have known when he would walk 10 miles to see a good armor. And now he lies awake 10 nights, carving the fashions of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plainly and to the point, like an honest man and a soldier. How is he turned orthography? His words are very fantastical, only so many strange visions. May he be so converted and see with those eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not swear by it, but love may transform me into an oyster. But I'll take my oath. Till it hath made the oyster out of me, I will not be made such a fool. One woman is wise, yet I am well. Another fair, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all three graces be in one woman shall not come near me. Rich she must be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Mild, come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be whatever color it please God. Oh, here comes the prince who is your love. I will hide me in the arbor.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Yea, my lord, how still the evening is, as grace honors do. Grace honor them.
See where Benedick hath written so?
Oh, very well, my lord. Music at it will fit the kid fox with Pennyworth.
Balthazar, we hear that song again.
Oh, good, my lord. That's not so bad a voice to listen to music any more than once.
It is the wind of still excellency to put a strange face on one's own perfection. Come sing and let me woo no more.
Since you talk of wooing, I will sing. 'Tis many a lord thou commences suitor he thinks not worthy, yet he woos. Yet will he swear he loves.
Nay, pray thee, come more if thou shalt hold longer argument, do it in notes.
Note this before my notes. There's not a note of mine that's worth noting.
Why, these are the very crotchets of which he speaks. Notes, notes, forsooth, and nothing.
Now's fine air. Now is his soul ravished.
Has she made her affections known to Benedick?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
It is indeed. So your daughter says.
Shall I?
Says she.
Yes, says she when she's beginning to write to him. But she'll be up 20 times a night, and there will she sit in her smock till she has writ a sheet of paper.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Oh, that when she had written it and was reading it over, she found Benedick and Beatrice between the sheets.
God give me patience.
She doth indeed. And the ecstasy hath so much overborne her that my daughter is sometimes afeard she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
Has she made her affection known to Benedick? She's a very sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
In everything but loving Benedick.
Oh, my lord, wisdom and blood can medicate so tender a body, and we have 10 proofs to one that blood hath the victor. I am sorry for her, as I have just caught, being her aunt and guardian.
I wish she had bestowed it upon me. I would have doffed her her respects and made her half myself.
So, your daughter says, surely she thinks she will die, for she says she will die, if he love her not. And she says she will die, if he woo her not. And she says she will die, if he woo her, rather than she bait one breath of her accustomed crossness.
And she should, for were almost to hang him. For he is
Very proper man.
yes, that he is indeed.
And I take him to be valiant.
He doth indeed have some bravery.
Before God, and in my mind, very wise.
He doth indeed show some sparks like wits.
Well, if he do fear God, but must necessarily keep the peace. If he break the peace, he ought to enter into a quarrel with fear and trembling.
As Hector, I can assure you, in the managing of quarrels he is wise, for he either avoids them with great discretion or undertakes them with the most Christian-like fear.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
I do not know after a promise, I shall never trust my expectation.
I love him. Let it cool a while. I love Benedick well, and I wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy of so good a lady. Shall we send out to call him into dinner?
This can be no trick. The conflict was sadly born. To have the truth of this from Hero. Seem to pity the lady. Love me, white must be requited. I hear too how I am censured. They say that I will bear myself proudly if I receive love from her. They say too that she would rather die than show any affection to me. I never did think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and consult with them amending. The lady is fair. I can bear them witness. And virtuous, I cannot reprove it. And wise, but in loving me, why there's no addition to her wit, nor argument to her folly, for I will be terribly in love with her. I may have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me, because I have railed on so long against marriage, but doth the appetite not alter? A man loves to meet in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall these quips and sentences and paper bullets of the brain awe a man of the career of his humor? No. The world must be people. When I said that I would die a bachelor, I did not think that I would live till I were married. Why, here comes Beatrice. I say she's a fair lady. Do mark some course of love upon her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I take no more pains in your thanks than you took pains in making them. If it were painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure in the message?
Yes. Just as much as you may take upon a knife point, or choke upon it. You have no stomach, senor? Farewell.
Against my will, come to bid you to dinner. There's a double meaning in that.
Any pains I took to thank you.
Run me to the park. There thou shalt find my cousin Beatrice posing with the prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear and tell her that I and Ursula walk in the garden, and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us, and bid her come under the bleached bower where honeysuckles ripened by the sun forbid the light to enter. Our favorites, made proud by princes that advance their pride against the powers that bred it. Oh, there she will hide her to listen our propose. This is thy office. Fare thee well in it, and leave us alone. I'll make her come and warn you presently. Now, Ursula, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must be only of Benedick. Let it be thy part to praise him more than man ever did merit. And when I speak, I shall talk of how Benedick is sick in love with Beatrice. Oh, this matter is Cupid's crafty arrow made that only wounds thy piercing. Now begin, for look where Beatrice like a lapwing runs close to the ground in our conference.
The pleasantest angling is to see the fish, cut with her golden oars the silver string, and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So angle we for Beatrice, who even now is in the woodbine coveter. Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
Now we go near her, so that her ear lose nothing of the false, sweet baked lay forms.
But are you sure that Benedick was Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince that I knew about before.
And did they bid you tell her of it, ma'am?
Oh, they did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedick, to bid him wrestle against his passion and never let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve his fortune a bed, as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
Oh, God of love, I know he doth deserve as much be yielded to a man. But nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn red sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look upon, and her wit, oh, it values itself so highly that all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take shape, nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so, and therefore it were not good. She knew his love, lest she make a sport at it.
Oh, why you speak truth. I never yet saw a man how wise, how noble, oh, how young, how rare of feature. Oh, but she would spell him back, fair-faced. Oh, she would slur the man to be her sister. If black-white, nature drawing of an antique made a foul blot. If tall, a lad's ill-headed. And if short, why, if very vilely cut. If speaking, why, a babe blown with all winds, and in silence, a block moved with none. So she turns every man the wrong side out, and never gives simpleness and virtue to that which truth and merit purchases.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, and my old fashions as Beatrice is cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, oh, she would laugh me into air, press me to death with wits. No, rather, let Benedick like covered fire consume away in sighs, laced inwardly. 'Tis a better death to die with moss, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it, hear what she will say.
No, rather, I will go to Benedick and bid him to wrestle against his passions. And truly, Ursula, I'll devise some honest slanders to save my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may poison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is glad to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick.
Oh, he is the only man of Italy. Oh, please accept my dear Claudio.
I pray you, be not angry with me, madam. Speaking my fancy, Signor Benedick for shape, bearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in report through Italy.
Oh, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it, ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day tomorrow. Oh, come with me and bid you my troth, for which best to furnish me tomorrow.
She's limited, I warrant you. We have taught her, madam.
If it proves so, then nothing goes by halves. So Cupid kills with arrows and some traps.
What fire is in my ears? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? princely bands. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than accordingly.
I do but stay to your marriage to be consummate, then I must go for it ere I go. Nay, that is the greatest soil and loss of your new marriage as to show a child his new coat, and then forbidden to wear it. I'll only be bold with Benedick for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot, he is all mirth. Yes, twice or thrice confused grocery, the little hangman dare not shoot at him. He hath the heart sounds the bell, and the tongue is the clapper, for what his heart thinks his tongue speaks.
Gallant sire, not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope you be in love.
Hang him true, there's no true drop of blood in him. If he be truly sad and touched with love, he wants money.
I have a true thing.
What?
Hang it!
You must hang it first, then draw it afterwards.
What sigh for the toothache?
Where's but a humor or a worm?
Well, if anyone can master grief than he that has it.
Yet say I, he's in love.
There is no appearance of fancy in him, unless it be a fancy that he hath the strangest disguises, as to be a Frenchman today, a Dutchman tomorrow, or in the shape of two countries at once, a German from the waist downward, all Slavs, and a Spaniard from the hip upward, no doublet. I do swear say that he has no fancy to the story, as you haven't here yet, but yeah, he is no fool for this fancy, as you have it here he is.
If he be not in love with some lady, there's no believing old signs. He brushes his hat on morns. What should that bode?
Hath any man seen the barbers?
No, but barber's man hath been seen with him. An old ornament on his face hath already stuffed tennis balls.
Indeed, he looks younger than he did by loss of the beard.
Yea, or to paint himself, which I hear what they say of him.
And it is just the spirit which is now governed by stops.
And crept into a loose string. And that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, the sweet youth is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That I know too, I warrant. One that knows him not.
Yes, and dies for him.
She shall be buried with her face upwards.
Yet this is no cure for the toothache. Lady, I speak aside with you. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words that these hobby horses must not hear.
For my life to prate with him about Beatrice.
Hero and Margaret have by this played their parts with Beatrice, so the two bears will bite each other when they meet.
Good day, sister.
If it pleases you, I would speak with you.
In private.
If your leisure is served yet, Count Claudio may hear! For what I would speak of concerns him.
What? What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow?
You know who does.
I know not that one who knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let this appear hereafter, and then better unto me by that I now will manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in the dearness of heart hath hold to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent and labor ill bestowed.
What's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for the lady's been too long a talking of. She's disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she. Leonata's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal?
The word's too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will suit her to it. Wonder not love her then, tomorrow wed her. But it would better suit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so.
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust what you see, confess not what you know. Come with me tonight, and I will show you enough. When you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight, why I should not marry her tomorrow in the congregation where we shall wed, there will I shame her.
And as I have wooed for thee to obtain her, I shall join thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no further till you are my witnesses. Brandis cold thee but till midnight and let the issue show itself.
O day untowardly turned.
O missive strangely thwarting.
Oh, plague right well prevented. So will you say when you've seen the sequel.
Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else they repent, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, there would be a punishment too good for them. If they should have any allegiance to them, be chosen for the prince's watch.
We'll give them their charge, never out there.
First, who think you the most deservedest man to be constable?
You'll be all flattered, sir? What a lazy sequel, for they can write to read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacoal. God hath given you good name. To be well-favored man is gift of fortune. What to write and read comes by nature.
But which Master Constable?
You have! I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, give God thanks, and make no boast of it. And for your writing and reading, let that appear where there's no need of such vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable of the watch. Therefore, bear your lanthorn, this is your charge. You shall comprehend all backward men, and bid any man stand in the prince's name.
At how he will not stand.
Why then, make no note of it. We'll let him go, and presently call the rest of the watch together. And thank God you are rid of an knave.
He will not stand when he is bidden. He is none of the prince's subjects.
True! And he is to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You're also to make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is a most tolerable and not to be endured.
We rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Well, you speak like a most ancient and quiet watchman, for I do not see how sleeping should offend. Just be aware that your bills be not stolen. You're to call up all of the alehouses and bid those that are drunk and get them to bed.
How they will not.
Why then let them alone till they're sober. If they make you not, then the better answer, you may say, they are not the man you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him, by virtue of your office, to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why, the more is for your honesty.
But if we don't have to be thieves, should we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office, you may. But I think that they touch pitch would be defiled. If you do take a thief, the most peaceable way is to let him show himself what he is, and steal out of your company.
You have always been call the merciful man, partner.
Truly, I'm not to hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him.
If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call upon the nurse. And better still,
How if the nurse be asleep and not hear us?
Why then depart in peace, and let the child wake her with crying. For the ewe that will not hear her lamb when it baas will never answer a calf when he bleats.
it's very true.
'Tis is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Nay, by your lady, I think we cannot.
5 shillings to the one on it. With any man that knows the statutes, you may stay him. As long as the prince be willing. For indeed, the watch is to offend no man, and 'tis an offense to stay a man against his will.
By your lady, I think it be so.
Well, masters, good night. If there be any matter of late chances, please call upon me. Keep you and your fellow counsel, and good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, master, we get our charge. Let us sit here upon the church bench till 2, and then on to bed.
One more word on it. I pray. Watch about Senora Leonardo's door. For there's the wedding there tomorrow. There is great coil tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant. I beseech you.
Peace, go not.
Conrad, I say.
Here, man, I am at thy elbow.
Back to my village. I thought there was a scaffold.
I will owe thee an answer for that enough. Forward with thy tale.
Stand thee close. Under this penthouse, 4 inches of grain, and like a true drunkard, I will utter all to thee.
Some treason, master, yet stand close.
Therefore know that I have earned of Doña Giovanna 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
I shall rather ask if any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains make name for poor ones may make whatever price they will.
I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconferred. Thou knowest that the fashion of a doublet or a hat or a cloak is nothing to a man.
Yes, it is apparel.
I mean the fashion.
Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
Such, I may as well say the fool is a fool. But seest thou not what other form of faith this fashion is?
I know that before. She's been a mild weakness in here. She goes over now with a gentlewoman and a better maid.
Didst thou not hear somebody?
No, 'twas the vein of the house.
Well, seest thou not, I say, what other form of thief this fashion is? How giddily he turns about all the hot blood between 14 and 5 and 30. Sometimes fashioning them like Pharaoh's soldiers in a Ricci painting. Sometimes like Gadbo's priest in the old church window. Sometimes like a shaven Hercules in a smirched wormy tapestry, where his codpiece is as massive as his club.
All this I see. And I see that the fashion wears out more apparel than the man. Art not thou thyself giddy with the fashion too, that thou hast shifted out of thy tale to telling me of the fashion?
Not so neither. But know that I have tonight wooed the lady hero, the waiting gentlewoman of Margaret by the name of Hero. She leads me out of her chamber window, bids me 1,000 times good night. I told her so. I should first tell thee how the Prince Claudio and Doña Giovanna planted, placed, and possessed by my master, Doña Giovanna. Saw far off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was hero.
2 of them did, the Prince and Claudio. But the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret, and partly by her oaths which first possessed them, partly by the dark night which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy which did confirm any slander made by the Giovanna. Away went Claudio enraged, swore he would beat her the next day as he was appointed, the next day at temple, for the whole congregation, slandered her with what he saw overnight, and sent her home without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name. Stand.
Full of three, Master Constable! We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of treachery that ever was known in the
Masters, masters!
You'll be made to bring the form forth, I warn you.
Masters!
No speak. We charge you. Let us obey you to go with us.
We are likely to prove a good commodity being taken up with these men's bills.
The commodity in question, I warrant you. Come, we'll obey you.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise,
I will, lady.
and bid her come hither.
Well,
By my troth, I think your other dress were better.
Oh, pray be good, men, go work this.
It's not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. Oh, we're not but this.
I like that you tire with them excellently. If the hair were a thought browner, and your gown's most rare fashion. In faith, I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praised so.
Oh, that exceeds this, eh?
By my troth, but a nightgown in respect of yours. Cloth of gold and silver set with pearls, side sleeves, down sleeves, skirts, red underworn with a bluish tinsel. But for a fine, quaint, excellent fashion, yours is with 10 on it.
Oh, God, give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
It'll be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Upon thee! Oh, shame!
Ashamed of what, my lady? Is your lord not honorable without marriage? Is marriage not honorable in a beggar? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence a husband, or bad thinking do not rest true speaking. But is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think, if it be the right man and the right woman. Otherwise, 'tis light, not heavy. Ask my lady Beatrice else, here she comes.
Good morrow, cuz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Oh, what, how now? Dost thou speak in a sick tune?
I am all out of other tunes, methinks. Claps and a line of love that goes without a burden. You sing it, and I'll dance it.
Yea, and might I love your heels, and if your husband have stables enough, you shall see that he lack no guards.
I'm ill. Oh, legitimate construction. I scorn that with my heels.
'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis high time you were ready. I am sick.
For a horse or a husband?
The letter that begins them all. H.
And let you not be turned hurt. There's no more sailing by the star.
What means the fool now?
Nothing I, that God sends everyone their heart's desire.
These gloves the count sent me, they're an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
A maid and stuffed. There's goodly catching of gold.
God help me, God help me. How long have you preached apprehension?
Not ever since you left it, doth it would not become me rarely.
Oh, but it has seemed too little. You should wear it in your cap. I am sick.
Get you some of this distilled Cardius Benedictus and lay it to your heart. It's the only thing for a
Oh,
qualm.
there thou forgets her with a thistle.
Benedictus, Benedictus, have you some moral in this Benedictus?
Moral? No. By my troth, I have no moral meaning. I make plain, homely epistle. You may think perchance that I think
devout man. He always swore that he would never marry, but upon his heart, he now eats meat without grudging. Well, how you may be turned, I know not, but I think you look upon him with eyes as other women do.
And what is this pace that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallows.
Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedick, Dona Giovanna, and all the guardians of the town have come to Benedick's church.
Help me to dress good cause, good Megan Ursula.
With you that suits you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a very busy time.
Very. That it is, ma'am.
Yes, the truth it is, lady.
What is it, my good friend?
Women and Beatrice, sir. Speak little of the matter. An old woman, sir. And her wits are not so blunt as God help I desire they were. But ill faith, honest as the skin between her brows.
Yes, I think God am as honest as any man living as an old man. No honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous. Miraculous.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so. But we are the poor Duke's officers. But I will play my part. If I were as tedious as the king, I would find it in my heart to bestow it all on your worship.
All thy tediousness on me, huh?
Yea, are we not £1,000 more than 'tis? For I hear good exclamation on your worship, as of any lady in the city. And even though I be but a poor Duke's officer, I'm glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Very lady, our watch tonight, accepting your worship, has taken a couple of as errant days as any in the city.
A good old man, sir. He will be talking. As they say, when the age is in, the wits is out. God help us. It's a world to see. Well said, ill faith, neighbor virgin. For God is a good man. And when two men ride of a horse, one must ride behind. An honest soul, ill faith, by my troth, has he ever broke bread? But God is to be worshipped, and no two men are alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
One word, ma'am. Our watch, ma'am, hath indeed comprehended two auspicious subjects and will have them examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself, and bring them to me. I am now in great haste as it may appear unto you.
It shall be suffocance.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
My lady, it is safe for you to take your orders from our husband.
I'll wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good partner. Go. Get you to Francis Seagull. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn. We are now in the examination of these men.
We must do it wisely.
We will spare for no wit, I warrant you. Here that shall drive some of them to a non-com. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and beat me at the gallows. Exterior shows, oh, but she were not. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guilt, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you, by your potent proof, had vanquished the resistance of her youth, I may defeat of her virginity.
I know you would say if I have known her. You will say she did embrace me as a husband, and so extenuate the beforehand sin. No, Leonata, I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
I seem never otherwise to you.
Out on these seeming, I will write against it. You seem to me, as Diane in her orb, as chaste as the bud ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate in your spirit than Venus or those other pampered animals who rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well? You don't speak so wide. Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand here dishonored as to gone about to link my friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken? Or do I but dream?
Lady, these things are spoken, and they are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True! Oh God!
Leonata, stand I here. Is this the prince? Is this the prince's sister? Is this hero's face? Are our eyes our own?
Oh, this is so. But what of this, my lord?
To but impose one question on your daughter, and will you with free and unconstrained soul that you have on her, bid her answer truly?
I charge thee to do so. Oh, God, defend me! How am I this? What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not hero? Who else could blot that name with any just reproach?
Marry back in hero. Hero itself can blot out hero's virtue. What man was it that talked with you at your chamber window yesternight betwixt 12 and 1? If you are maid, answer to this.
I spoke with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then are you no maiden? Leonardo, I am sorry, upon mine honor, for myself, my sister, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, talk with the ruffian last night at her chamber window, who most like a literal villain confesses the encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Fine, my lord. These words are not to be named. There is not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. And thus, pretty lady, I am sorry that I am much misgoverned.
O hero, what a hero hadst thou been! If hath thy outward graces have been placed about thy thoughts and the counsel of thy heart, but fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell, thou pure piety and pious purity, for thee I will lock all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang to turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it be more gracious.
Hath no man's dagger, hero, point for me!
Hero! Wherefore, why forsake you down? Hero? Come now, these things come thus to life and smother her spirits up. Hero?
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think! Aunt! Thou hearest me, O Benedick! Aunt! O fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest comfort for her shame which many wish for. Hero? Hero? Hero?
A comfort where?
Dost thou look up?
Nay, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Would not every earthling thing cry shame upon her? Do not live, hero! Do not open thine eyes! For did I think thou wouldst not quickly die, thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shame, I myself would, in the rearward reproaches, strike at thy life. Grieved I had but one child, but unbroken nature's frame. Oh, one too much by thee! Why had I one? Why wast thou ever lovely in my eyes? Why had I not with charitable hand taken up a beggar's issue in my gates, who besmirched less and martyr than me? I might have said, no part of this is mine. This shame derives itself from unknown lords. But mine, and mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine I was proud on. Mine so much that I to myself was not mine, valuing of her. Oh, she is fallen into a pit of ache so dark that the wines he hath drops too few to cleanse her, and salt too little which may season give to her foul-tainted flesh.
Lady, have patience. I myself am so attired in wonder, I know not what to say.
Oh, my soul, hero is blind.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
Last night, no. But for a 12-month past, she has every night been my bedfellow.
Confirmed! Oh, that is stronger thing which was before barred with ribs of iron. Would the princess lie, and Claudio lie, who loved her so that, speaking of her foulness, flushed it with tears? Hence from her! Let her die.
Hear me a little. I've only been silent so long, and given way unto this course of fortune by noting of the lady, I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions, to start into her face 1,000 innocent shames, and through her whiteness beat away the blushes, and in her eye that hath appeared a fire, to burn the errors that these princes hold against her maiden truth. Claudio, 'twas not my reading nor my observations, which with experimental sealed out more than 10 of my book. It's not my reverence, calling, age, nor divinity, if this sweet lady did I not feel material under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace she hath left is that she will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She thought denies it. Why then seekest thou to cover that which appears in proper nakedness?
Hey, what man is he you are accused of?
They know that you accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any
of a citizen Giovanna the bastard, whose soul toils in frame of villains.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. If they rob her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it. Time hath not so dried this blood of mine, nor age so ate up my invention, nor fortune made such havoc of my means, nor my bad life so reft me of friends. But they shall find, awakened in kind, both strength of limb and policy of mind, ability and means of choice of friends to quit me of them thoroughly.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here, the princess, left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in. And publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on her family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that pertain unto a burial.
What will become of this, friar? What will this do?
Mary, this well carried shall on her behalf take slander to remorse. That is some good. But not for that dream eye on this strange course. She died, as it must be so maintained, upon the instant that she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. For it so falls out that what we have we prize not to the word while we enjoy it, but being lacked and lost. Why? Then we rapt about it. Then we find the virtue that possession would not show us whiles it was ours. So will it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear she die upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come more apparel than precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life into the eye, prospect of the soul, than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish we had not so accused her, no, though we thought his accusation true. Let this be so, and doubt not what success will fast me a net in better shape than I can lay down in like so. But if all aim be love and false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy, and her sword. Not well. You may deceive her in some reclusive and religious life, as best befits with wondered reputation, out of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries.
Lady, let the friar advise you. And though you know my inwardness is love is unto the Prince Claudio, I will deal with this as secretly and honestly as your soul should your body.
Being that I flow in grief, smallest twine may lead me.
Just well consent. Presently away, for it's a strange soul or strangely they strain here. Come me, die to live. This wedding day is perhaps but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a little longer.
I will not desire that.
Have no cause, I do it freely.
Surely, I believe your fair cousin is wrong.
Yes, and much might deserve of me the man that would right her.
How may men achieve such friendship?
Very easily indeed. No such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do not love anything in this world as much as you. Is that not strange?
A stranger thing to think. I were about to say I did love nothing as much as you. But believe me not, for I lie not. I confess nothing and I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear by it and eat it.
I will swear by it, and I'll make him eat it who says I love not you.
Will not eat your word?
Not with any sauce I can devise to it.
Why then God help me.
Of what offense?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest that I did love nothing so much as you.
And do it with all thy heart.
With so much of my heart that there is none left to confess.
Come, bid me do anything for you.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Terror, sweet Beatrice.
I will go. In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You would easier be friends with me than fight with my enemy?
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in height a villain? Hath he not slandered, scorned, and dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! What? Bear in hands with her until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, and unmitigated rancor. Oh, that I were a man! I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Here, Beatrice.
Oh, hero, she is undone.
Nay, Beatrice.
Talk with a man out of window of proper saying.
Beatrice.
Printed in counties, surely, a princely testimony of goodly count compact, a sweet gallant, surely.
Beatrice.
Oh, that I were a man, or that I had a friend who would be a man for my sake. But no, manhood is melted into conflict, and valor into curses, and men into tongues, and trim tongues too. He is as valiant as Hercules that tells a lie and swears by it. I cannot make myself a man with wishing, so let me die a woman with weeping.
Beatrice, by this hand, I love thee.
Use it for my love some way other than swearing by it.
Think in your soul that Claudio hath wronged your cousin?
As sure as I have thought her soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will kiss your hand, and so leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you see me, so think of me. Go, tend to your cousin. I must say she is dead. Farewell.
Is our whole assembly here?
Oh, let's go to the question for the session.
Mary, doesn't mind my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
For which be the better speak, master constable.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me. What is thy name, friend? Pray! Write down, Baraccio. Yours, sire?
I am a gentlewoman, sir. My name's Conrad.
Write down, Master Gentlewoman Conrad! Masters, do you serve God?
Yes, sir, we hope.
Write down, they hope they serve God. But write God first. For God defends, but God shall go before such villains. Masters, it has been proven already that you are a little better than the false knaves, and it will go near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Married, sir. We say we are none.
A marvelous witty fellow, I assure you. But I will go along with it. Come you hither, sire. A word in your ear. I say to you, you are false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Well, stand aside. For God, they are both in a tale. Have you written down that they are none?
Master constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch, let it
Yea, Mary. That is the epist way. Let forth. Masters, I charge you, in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This fact said, sir, that Doña Giovanna, the prince's sister, was a villain.
Write down Princess Giovanna a villain. Why, that is flat perjury. Call a prince's sister a villain.
Master Constable.
Pray thee, fellow! Peace! I do not like thy look. I promise thee.
What hurt you, sales? Mary, that you have received 1,000 ducats from Doña Giovanna for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary, as ever, was committed.
My mass. That it is.
What else, fellow?
And that how Claudio did leave upon his word to disgrace here before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain! Thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this!
What else? This is all. And this, masters, is more than we can deny. Princess Giovanna is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero, in this manner accused, in this manner accused, and upon grief suddenly died. Master Constable, found these two men in exemplary matter, and go before her and children examination.
Come, let them be bound.
Let them be in the hands.
Pop Costa.
That is my life. Where's the sexton? Let him write down Officer Coxcomb. Come by me. Thou naughty varlets.
Away! You are an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, if she was here to rip me down an ass! But masters, let us not forget that I am an ass. Though it not be written down yet, forget not that I am an ass. Know thou, villain, thou art full of piety, and shalt be proven upon by good witness. I am a wise fellow, and much more an officer, and much more a householder, and much more as pretty piece of flesh as any in the Messina. And one that knows the law, go to, one that hath many riches, and one that hath many losses, but one that hath 2 gowns, and everything handsome about him. Bring them away. Ooh, that I've been ripped down an ass.
Okay.
Thus for drunk with candle wasters. Bring her yet to me, and I of her will gather patience. But there is no such person for brothers. Men can counsel and speak comfort to grief which they themselves not feel. But, tasting it, their counsel would turn to passion, which would before give perceptial medicine to rage. Better strong men than sit with silken thread, torment with air and agony with words. No, no, 'tis all men's office to speak patience to those that bring under the load of sorrow, but no man's virtue nor sufficiency to be so moral when he himself shall feel it. Therefore, give me no counsel. My griefs cry louder than advertisement.
There is, between men and children, nothing different.
I pray thee, peace. I will be flesh and blood, but there was never yet a philosopher who could endure the toothache patiently, however he may have writ, styled the gods, made a push at transcendent sufferance.
You'd better not all harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me hero is the lie, and that the prince shall hear of it, and so shall Claudio, and all those that thus dishonor him.
Here comes the Prince and Claudio, hastily.
Good day.
Hear you, my lords.
We have some hastily, Nada.
Some haste, my lord. Well, very well, my lord. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good woman.
If she could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Mary, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler, thou bondage of the head of thy sword, I fear thee not.
Mary, retrue my hand. If she your age, such cause of fear, in faith, my hand meant nothing to my sword.
Tush, tush, man. Never fleer nor jest at me. I speak not like a daughter nor a fool, as under privilege of age to brag about what I have done being young, or would do, were I not old. No, Claudio, to thy head. Thou hast so wronged my innocent child in her. I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with gray hairs and bruise of many days, do challenge thee to a trial of man. I say thy husband, I'm not innocent child, thy slander hath gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where never scandal slept. Save this horror. Right by thy villainy!
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say!
You speak not right, old woman.
My lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dare, despite his nice fence and his active practice, his bay of youth and his bloom of lustihood.
Away, I will not have to do with thee.
Canst thou so death me? Thou hast killed my child! Thou killest me, boy! Thou shalt kill a woman!
So kill two of us and men in need. That's no matter. Let him kill one more.
Brother!
Let him answer me.
Brother!
From your pointing defense, nay, I'm a gentleman, I will.
Brother Antony!
Content yourself. God knows I love my niece, and she is dead. Slandered to death by villains that dare as well answer a man in need, as I dare take a serpent by the tongue. Boy is ace. Records, Jackson, don't stop.
But Brother Antony!
Hold to repent. I know them, yea, and what they weigh, even to the utmost scruple, scambling, and outraged fashion-minding boys, that lie and cower and flout, deprave and slander, go antically, show outward hideousness, and speak off half a dozen dangerous words, how they might hurt their enemies if they durst. And this is all.
We will not wait your patience. Nina, I am sorry upon mine heart, but your daughter was charged with what was very true and very full of proof.
My lord, my lord!
I will not hear you!
No? Come, brother, away. I will be heard!
And shall, or some of us will smart for it.
See, here comes the man I went to see.
How now, senor? What news?
Hello, Count. Welcome, senor. You're almost come to part, almost a fray.
We had like to have had our two noses snapped off with two old folks without any teeth.
Leonardo and her brother. What thinkst thou? Should we have fought? I doubt we should have been too young.
In a false quarrel, There is no true valor. I came to seek you both.
And we have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high proof melancholy and feigned, have been away. Wilt thou use thy wits?
It's in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thy wit and I wit by thy side?
Never any did so, though where many have been beside their wit. I bid thee draw, as we do, the minstrels draw to pleasure us.
Sir, I meet your wit in the career, and you charge it against me. I pray you, choose another subject.
Nay, give another staff this last with broke cross.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
Nay, but it's just his spirit, and he knows how to turn his girdle.
May I speak aside with you?
God bless me for the challenge.
You are a villain. You're just not. I will make it good what you dare, when you dare, how you dare. You do me right, or I'll protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet and innocent lady. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
What, a feast, a feast?
He hath bid me to a cast head in a cape and say, my knife's not, shall I not find a woodcock too?
Sir, your wit handles well. It goes easily.
I'll tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wits the other day. I said thou hast a fine wit. True, said she, a fine little one. Nay, said I, a great wit. Great, said she, a great, gross one. Nay, said I, a good wit. Just, said she, it hurts nobody. Nay, said I, the gentleman is wise. Certain, said she, a wise gentleman. Nay, said I, he hath tongues. That I believe, said she, for he swore to me a thing on Monday night, which he forswore to me on Tuesday morning. There's a double tongue, there's two tongues. Thus did she, thus did she, an hour together, to try and shake thy particular virtues till a lash flew with a sigh. Ha! Thou was the properest man in it.
To which she looked hardly and said, she cared not.
Yea, that she did, for if she did not hate him deadly, she would love him dearly. The old man's daughter told us all.
All moreover, God saw him when he was hid in the garden.
But when shall we set these savage bulls' horns upon the sensible Benedick's head?
Yea, in the text underneath, here dwells Benedick, the married man.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests like braggers through their swords, which, God be thanked, hurt not. Sir, for your courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your sister, the bastard, fled Messina, and you among you have killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my Lord Blackbeard here, he and I shall meet. And until then, peace be with him.
He's in earnest,
Most profound earnest, and I warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
and hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
What a pretty thing man is when he goes off in his Dublin hose and leaves off his wit.
He is then a giant in ape, but then is ape a doctor to such a man?
But soft you, hush out my heart. Be sad, did you not say my sister was fled?
Come, you sirs! If justice shall not tame you, she shall bear away more reasons in her balance. Nay, and you be but a cursing hypocrite once, must be looked to.
How now? Two of my sister's men bound? Borachio one?
Hearken out their offense, my lord.
Officers, what have these men done?
Marriage, sir. They have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanderers. Sixth and lastly, they have bedied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what they used to the charge. Thirdly, I ask you what's their offense. Sixth and lastly, I ask you what's their offense. And to conclude, why they are committed.
There's one meaning well suited.
Officers, men, what's your offense? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no farther than to mine answer. Do you hear me, or does Count feel me? I have deceived even your very eyes what your wisdoms cannot discover. These shallow fools have brought to light when the night overheard me confessing to this woman how the Lady Dona Giovanna, your sister, incensed me to slander the Lady Hero. How you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I would rather repeat with my than I would rather see with my death and repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusations. And briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not the speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he uttered it.
But did my sister set me upon this?
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
She's composed and framed of this treachery, and fled she is upon this villainy.
Sweet hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved it first. Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time, our sexton hath informed Signora Leonato of the matter. And masters, let us not forget to specify, when time and place shall serve, that I am an ass.
Here's up Signora Leonato. Antonio, too.
Which of these is a villain? Let me look into his eyes, and when I know who another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you know you're wronger, look on to me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hath killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
Nay, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stands a pair of honorable men, and a third is fled without a hand in it. I thank thee, princes, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. What's bravely done, and but think you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose what penance your invention could lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in mistaken.
By this our underhand viewing, I would bend to this good lady that she'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid thee bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both, possess the people in Messina hear how innocent she died. And if your love can labor aught in sign invention, hang an epitaph on her tomb, and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight, and come tomorrow to my house. And since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost a copy of my child that is dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given my daughter, and so dies my revenge.
So, noble lady, your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I embrace your offer and dispose henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow, then, I will expect your coming. This naughty man shall face to face be brought with Margaret, who is packed in on this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
Not by my soul she was not, nor knew what she did when she spoke to me, but hath always been just and virtuous in anything that I do know by her.
Moreover, ma'am, the offender here, the plaintiff, did call me an ass. But I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment. And also, the watch heard them talk of one deformed. They say he wears a key in his ear, and a lock hanging by it, and borrows money in God's name, the sum of which he hath borrowed so long ago, and never paid. So much so that now men grow hard-hearted, and will lend him nothing, for God's sakes. I pray you, examine him upon these points.
I thank thee for thy care and thy honest pains.
Your worship speaks like a humble and reverent youth. I praise God.
There's for thy pains.
God save the foundation.
Go. I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I think you an errant name in your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I give you humble leave to depart. And if there be a merry meeting, may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Until tomorrow morning, my lords. Tonight, I take my leave.
Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Tonight I will mourn with you, Rose.
Bring you these fellows on. We'll have a talk with Margaret, how her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
Margaret, serve well at my hands and help me with the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
Such a high style, Margaret, that no man shall come over it, for in most comely truth, thou deservest it.
Why, to have no man come over me, shall I always keep little stairs?
Your wit is as fast as a greyhound's mouth, it catches.
And yours is blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret, it will not hurt a maid. I pray thee, fetch Beatrice, I give thee the bucklers.
We have bucklers of our own. Give us the swords.
If I do, you must put in the pikes with a vice. Such weapons are dangerous for maids.
I'll go fetch thee Beatrice, who I think hath life.
And therefore will come.
Gods of love that sits above and knows me, pitiful I deserve.
It's singing, but in loving. Leander, the great swimmer, Strolius, the first employer of panders, and all these quantum carpet mongers whose names he has run smoothly over the even road of the blank verse. Why, they were never so turned over and over as my poor self in love. I cannot show it in rhyme, I've tried. I can find no rhyme for lady, but baby, innocent rhyme. Scorn, whore, a hard rhyme. For fool, school, a babbling rhyme. So many ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor can I woo in festival turn. Sweet mistress Beatrice, would you come when I call thee?
Yea, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
I will go, but before I go, let me go with what I came for. Knowing what has passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and therefore I will kiss you.
No, foul words is but foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
You have scared the meaning right out of the word. How forcible is thy wit. But if I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and I will soon hear from him, or I will subscribe him a power. And now, tell me, I pray you, for which one of my bad parts did thou first fall in love with me?
Why, for all of them together, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they would allow no good part to intermingle. But tell me, for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, a good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
Against your will? Oh, your poor heart! Very well. If you spite it for my sake, I shall spite it for yours, for I cannot love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in this confession. There's not one wise man among 20 who will praise himself.
In old Benedick and Beatrice, in the time of good neighbors, if a man in this age should not erect his own tombstone ere he dies, he will live no longer in monument than the bell rings and the willow weeps.
And how long is that, think you?
Question. Wine an hour in clamor, and a quarter in room. Therefore is it most expediment for the wise, if lady were of her conscience find no impediment to the contrary, to be the trumpet of his own virtues. So much for praising myself, who I myself will bear witness is praiseworthy. Tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And you?
Very ill, too.
God, serve God, love me, and men. Now I will leave you, for here comes some to see you in haste.
Madam, you must come to your aunt. Yonder's old coil at home. It is proven my lady hero hath been falsely accused, the Prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Dona Giovanna is the author of all, who has fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you come to hear this news, senor?
I will live in thy eyes, die in thy lap, and be buried in your heart. And therefore, I will go with these thy eyes. So am I, else being forced by fate to call Claudio to reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all, withdraw into a chamber unto yourselves, and when I call for you, come hither unmasked. The Prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. Brother, you know your office. You must be father to your sister's daughter, and give her to young Claudio.
So do, confirm Count. Friar, I must entreat your pains of me.
To do what, senor?
To bind me, or undo me. For the truth is, good senora, your niece favors me with an eye of love.
That eye, my daughter lends her, 'tis most true.
And I do, with an eye of love, requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from the Prince, from Claudio. What is your will?
Her answer, lady, is enigmatic. But for my will is your consent.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here comes the prince.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter?
I will hold my mind.
Call her forth, brother. There's the friar ready.
Good morrow, Benedick. How dost thou that thou hast such a February face so full of frost, storm, and cloudiness?
I think he thinks upon the savage world. Tush, fear not, man. We'll tip thy horns of gold, and all of Europa shall rejoice in thee. As once Europa did at lusty Jove when he placed the noble beast in love.
Old Jove, sir, had an amiable load, and some strange bull leaped your father's cow and got a calf in the same noble feat, much like you who has the same noble feet.
For this I owe you. Here comes other reckonings.
Another hero? A hero that is dead?
She died, my lord. Whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement cannot provide. But now rely on the holy rites are ended. I'll tell you largely of that death. Meantime, their wonders seem familiar. To the chapel that is present.
Sovereign fair friar, which is Beatrice?
I answer to the name. What is your will?
Do you not love me?
No, no more than reasonable.
Why then? Friar and Prince and Claudio have been deceived for. They swore you did.
Do you not love me?
No, no more than reason.
Well then, my cousin Meg and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They said you were sick for me.
They swore you will well nigh dead for me.
This is not the case. You do not love me.
No more than a friendly recompense. Come, niece. I am sure you love this gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon that he loves her, for here's a paper, written in his hand, a halting sonnet, of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, written up my cousin's hand and stolen from her pocket, containing her love unto Benedick.
Why, it's a miracle. Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee. For by this light I take thee for pity.
And on this good day I yield to great persuasion. Partially to save your life, for I was told you were taking up consumption.
Peace!
But
I will stop this moment.
I don't know although what's happened denied Beatrice. So I might have cudgeled thee out of my single life to make give you a double here, which out of question thou wilt be when you play the noble beast in love.
Come, we are friends. Let us dance ere we are married, and lighten our hearts and the heels of our wives.
we'll have dancing afterward.
First by my sake. Therefore play music. Prince, you are sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife. There's no step more reverend than that is attempted before.
My lord, Sister Giovanna was taken in flight, brought with our men back to Messina.
Think not of them till tomorrow. I will devise brave punishments for them. Strike up, pipers!
The first person we'd like to thank is our stage manager, Claudio.
amazing scene changes. But that was all her. And her bad crew of talented people. What? Yeah. Oh yes. And Olivia also made sure we had all of our props and made sure we were there on time. She is just amazing and so dedicated. And it is just wonderful to work with her all of these times.
So, the second person we'd like to thank is our lovely assistant director, Bethany Nailson.
My best friend, and she has been our assistant director for several years now, and she was our stage manager, and she just loves doing this so much, and we are so thankful that she could be here, because honestly, without the people we are thanking here tonight, we would not look as pretty as we do. We would probably not be here at all. We would probably be like, when does the show start? Somebody else we need to thank, who we actually don't have flowers for, is Mr. Wayne Wendell, who works with Beverly Theater Guild and helped us do our lights, and he is amazing. Also, we really do need to thank Beverly Theater Guild, because they did Spamalot here a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you know, and they gave us this set.
Last but certainly not least is the person that put this all together from the very start, our director, Mrs. Bergen. Without her, this production would have been nothing.
Yeah, this really is a labor of love, and Miss Bergen, I don't know if you know this, but she has a brand new son, and she took away time she could have been spending with her child to spend it with us and help make us the best that we could be. And we are just so grateful and so thankful for Miss Bergen for giving us the opportunity to do a show like this and make it as magnificent as it is. So thank you so much, Miss Bergen.
We'd also like to thank to everybody who provided meals for us during Tech Week. That was much appreciated, especially when we're staying here till 7 o'clock at night. We need a lot of food. We're growing children.